North East Lincolnshire ranks in the top 10% of deprived areas in the United Kingdom. The wards of East Marsh and West Marsh rank in the top 1%. Such levels of poverty and deprivation are reflected in the unprecedented degree of homelessness, unemployment, drug and alcohol abuse, and poor physical and mental health in the local community. For 30 years, Care have been helping vulnerable people in this most deprived of communities, often bringing them back from the depths of despair with practical and emotional support to create a better life for themselves and their families.
You're walking off the street, you make your own application, you can see what we're about.
Our work is very diverse. We try and treat the problems as they come up.
So this could be in this area, housing issues, could be homeless, going to get evicted.
So it's very, very intense and diverse what we can do.
It's a flexible and fast service, and it's non-prescriptive, and there's no barriers, there's no layers for them to go through. Care provides housing, and that's deposit free. You don't need a guarantor, you don't need rent in advance.
Well, I was in the Salvation Army before I got in touch with Care. Well, I got me this flat, and they've helped me with getting a fridge and cooker, washer.
Help with filling forms and that, because I got in arrears with my rent previously. If I ever get into financial trouble in the future, they'd be able to help.
Okay, I needed advice, but even physical help. And the major one was a place where to live.
When I met Awana, she was living in a single room in a shared house with a small daughter, but they really needed somewhere of their own.
And in time, we get our home where we live now. I am lucky, that's it. I'm lucky because in the place where I live now, we are happy.
Care are prepared to address some of the most challenging housing issues, like the case of Sean Laserson, who was made homeless when his grandfather went into a home. But Sean couldn't bear to be separated from his beloved pets.
We found your property and we've spoken to the landlord and he's happy for you to come in with the animals. And so I wanted to tell you today, and I've been bursting to tell you for about 3 days, but what
Really?
to save it, yeah.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting to receive the amount of help I did and the support from Care and Louise.
I've had lots of different support from them. They've helped me with my housing situation.
And when anyone is acceptance of a house with ourselves, they get a support worker for 12 months.
And that's a one-to-one worker who will work with the person in any way they need it, and that will be out in the community in the person's own home.
I lost my partner, I lost my job, and I came ill all within 5-6 months. I didn't know anything, so I got a lot of support, and they was there. If I wanted them, I could ring them. She's been there every step of the way. If I've needed her, I've only had to ring her and she was there.
I'm ill, so they support me. And she takes me to appointments.
When my daughter was gone, I'd go through days of not speaking to a human being, you know, and sometimes I'd come and we didn't even do anything apart from just talk. I know we'd get appointments and things like that, but Louise would sometimes just ring just to see, you know, how I was doing.
They're really supportive. They have, like, doing, like, court forms, like, helping me with it, being my saviour. She's been my saviour, like.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. You can really see the progression for people moving on. I was advised by the local council to approach Care when I was in a situation of homelessness myself, was subsequently housed by Care. Then a year later or so, I came to volunteer at Care, and after 6 months was offered paid employment, and I've been here ever since for now 22 years.
So I came on a work placement through the job centre. My confidence was so bad. I had no self-confidence at all. At the end of the 6-month placement, I was told that they wanted to employ me, really. I was just amazed. I couldn't believe it that anybody would have such confidence in me. It just meant so much, so much. I couldn't believe it.
According to a recent report from North East Lincolnshire Public Health, the impact of the COVID pandemic from lockdowns, job losses and being placed on furlough has caused the deprivation gap to widen, and the pace is alarming.
Since the pandemic, we're finding that more and more people are isolated, they're suffering with more mental health problems.
Yeah, you know, life is really difficult for a lot of people at the moment.
New partnerships are currently being developed that will help Care provide a wider range of support, assist with staff development and bring their community together to enjoy activities that build skills and confidence, prevent loneliness and isolation and prepare them for the time when the intensive help from their care support worker comes to an end.
Care is going to change and develop. The width and breadth of our remit has had to become deeper and more intense, and in fact through that we're getting new partner agencies who are referring into us because of the scope and depth of our service.
I think Care does things that no other organisation in this town does.
We will help anybody as best we can.
We're one in our own and it's great, it's a wonderful asset to this area.
I do think it's really important, if possible, that the service does remain open and continues, because the service users it's supporting. A lot of them have nowhere else to go.
And without Care, I think there'd be lots of people struggling on the streets, not knowing where to turn, like I previously didn't know where to turn.
Well, I wouldn't be where I am now. I'd be very, very down. I don't think I'd be coping financially either.
I told her how grateful I am, because without her, me and Larissa, my daughter, we wouldn't be here where we are now.
I'm just very, very grateful that and lucky that I've been able to receive this help, and I hope that in the future that you can continue to provide better care.
My job, helping people, makes me who I am.
To me, it's not a job. It's never been a job. It's always been a vocation.
It's brought me back up now, and I really am on a quite a high now, like. But I couldn't have done it without that support.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done without her, to be honest. She's lovely, aren't you?
I've got something to look forward to now. Instead of looking down that life all the time, I've got something to look forward to.
It meant the world to us because it's our first family home.
It's absolutely brilliant to be able to get a home to start from with.
And in future, I would like to do a job like people from Care. I really want to help because I've been helped, so I think I am for that.
I can't imagine going through without Care.
I've never ever worked in a team who've got the desire to help, the genuine, actually from the heart desire to really change people's lives.